Good morning, good evening, and good day. Thank you so much for watching Attack Power Gaming. Now, today we have a highly opinionated video coming to you, so get those keyboards ready, get down in that comment section, and make sure you tell me how wrong I am. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and subscribe, the many of you who haven't. It really helps the channel. It's free to you, and it means a lot to me. Let's dive right in. All right, here we are, and the question today we are asking is, what is the best minor faction in Steel Division 2? What do I mean by minor faction? In other words, basically not the Soviets and not the Germans. Why? Because they make up the bulk of the divisions in the game, and these other nations don't. Okay, so we are going to dive into which of these minor nations are, which is the best. So let's see what our options here. On the Allied side, we have the Americans, which include 4 divisions here of the 3rd Armored, 2nd Infantry, Task Force 45, and Task Force Butler. Then we have the French with the 2nd Blindé and the 1st DFL. Then we have the United Kingdom, and we're actually going to lump all the United Kingdom ones together here because they really play quite similarly. The 6th Airborne, 8th Infantry, 15th Infantry, 3rd Canadian Infantry, and 2nd New Zealand Infantry. Then we have our singular South African unit with the 6th South African Armored. We have 3 Polish divisions with the 1st Pencherna, the 1st Piatoki, I can't say it, someone told me in the comments, I wish I had read closer, now I don't remember, and the army here, Armia Krdjova, I think W's a V. I'm going to give it my best shot. Then we have the Italians with the Corpo Italiano di Liberazione, and we are actually going to lump the Italians with their Axis counterparts down here. On the Axis side, we still have, once again, the Italians with the 4th Alpina Monterossa. Then we have the Hungarians with the 1st Lovas, 12th Tartulek. The Finnish with the Panzerdivision Nona and Raimo Rapana. And finally, the Romanians with the 1st Blindata, 5th Cav, and 4th Munte. So, we'll do a brief overview here after I tell you what I think is the best one. And remember, this is 100% my opinion based on my own feelings about the game and the way the divisions play. This is not based in any solid fact or anything, but you can absolutely look at some of the pro players, their kind of tier list things, and kind of make the determination for yourself based on that info. But I really suggest it comes down to how you feel about the play. So, the winner of the greatest minor faction in Steel Division 2 is Romanians. That, I believe, is the best set of divisions that the minor factions give to us. So let's go in first to why I think the Romanians are the strongest of the minor factions in Steel Division 2. First off, all 3 of their available divisions are excellent. Okay, they're all very solid choices. None of them are bad. None of these are like C, D tier divisions here. You can play any of these very successfully. The biggest thing going for the Romanians for me personally is their absolutely phenomenal infantry. Their infantry are absolutely some of the best in the game in terms of price and just terms of general effectiveness. They get a great variety of infantry. They play differently than a lot of other divisions do, and they're just really fun to play. They're not just like knockoff German divisions, which a lot of, which some of the minor divisions can feel like at times. So if we hop in here to the 1st Blindata, it's not going to show me the battle group I already have built here, but whatever. They have a great set of recons. They have really strong infantry. These Venatori Moto are essentially, they're cheaper Panzer Grenadiers almost. They don't have the MG34s. But the big thing that makes these guys really strong across the board is they get these this division specifically does not, but the other 2 get their rifles are actually straight pull, they're called, and I'll show you in another division what I mean. But you get these Pioneer Assault, which are absolutely fantastic. You do get access to some Panzer Grenadiers, which is great. Come over here to the tank, you get all these cool tanks. T4 is technically better than the usual Panzer because you get this heat option as well, so they can retain their penetration for a little bit longer. Lots of tanks to choose from. Really good support. You get 2 cards of flamethrowers, which is really fun to have. Continuing on here, you get the Rositas. Rositas are absolutely fantastic. One of the best AT guns in the game. These Venatori Ducati, these are absolutely amazing. They're both a Pioneer Squad they're basically a Pioneer Squad with a Panzerschreck. They're super duper strong. They function as normal infantry squads really well. Good mix of AA here. Their artillery is kind of lacking. I will say the artillery in all 3 divisions is a little bit lacking. This one is the best of the 3 in terms of artillery. You do get some 150 millimeter artillery here and the mortar half track, and they get a very solid airplane tab here, air tab. So that's the first Blumdata. Then, and don't worry, I'm not going to go through every division of every faction here, just this Romanian one, since I'm calling it the best one of all of them. Then we have the fourth Munte here. Best sniper squad in the game, hands down, no question. Double sniper. This thing is the most obnoxious thing ever. It's ridiculous. And you look at them all. Snipers. You get you get 14 squads of snipers. You only get 6 slots, but you get 14 squads of snipers to choose from. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, there is nothing wrong with going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, like spread them out through the phases, but that seriously, you should do that. They're so good. It's stupid. Then their infantry, really strong, and I can show in here. So they have these Venatori de Munte. These guys also have the bolt action. Poopy. Where are you? Straight pull. There we go. For some reason, I don't know why they wouldn't have used them in real war, but the straight pull rifle is just straight up better than the bolt action rifle. If you look at the 2 stats here, I can try to find it. Oh, here, recruits versus these guys there, 8 and 8. So we have 0.8 damage for both, but then when you look, suppress is 19 on the straight pull. Their accuracy is 5% higher, and they have a slightly higher rate of fire. It's not a huge difference, but it is better. Like, it just is straight up better. And a lot of their units use this M&S ZB30J, which is an automatic rifle, making a lot of their infantry still effective at close range, unlike a lot of others. Also, on top of that, for some reason, in these divisions, they get these cards of 9 pioneers. It happens in both the 5th Cav and the 4th Munte, and these are absolutely fantastic. You get so many pioneers, it's ridiculous. You know, usual tank tab, nothing special there. You get again, 2 cards of flamethrowers. You also get access to the Brettas, which are really good support guns, fire extremely fast. You know, getting over to the anti-tank, you get more of these Venatoris here, which are really, really strong, like I said. Anti-air, you get this nice mix with some 75 mils and also some mobile wagons. This artillery tab's okay. The problem is it doesn't come with a lot of supply, so you're definitely going to be strained using those Hummels and stuff. Another really strong air tab. Another really solid air tab overall. So that's the 4th Munte there. And then we have my personal favorite of the 3 Romanian divisions, the 5th Cav, which has an awesome, absolutely great recon tab with lots of armored cars and these Calarasi, which are snipers and more snipers. Again, tons of snipers. Then you get one of the best infantry tabs in the game, in my opinion. You get these, once again, pioneers, where you get 9 of them. Absolutely fantastic. You get a sniper squad of infantry. Just why not? You get these excellent assault squads. You get these Rosiori assaults, which are also just like a Molotov cocktail guy. You get Rosioris, which are fantastic. You get these straight pull rifles, which, like I said, are just better just because they are. You get double automatic rifle here. It's just an absolutely fantastic squad. You get Stugs, nothing wrong with those. You get the Brettas over here in the support tab. You don't get, this is the one that you don't get any flamethrowers in, so that's a bummer, but you can work around it. But they get the Puska Antakar, which is like one of the best AT rifles in the game. You get lots of Rositas, like what I said, are some of the best AT guns in the game. You get a great tab in the AA tab. The artillery is a little bit lacking, not fantastic. Air tab really strong. You get, I think this is one of the most, you get 3 cards of cluster bombers, which is one of the highest numbers in the game. I'm sure there's other divisions that have a lot, but this one's pretty nuts. So yeah, so the 3 Romanian divisions are extremely strong. Okay, that is not to say other factions are not. I would say in second for me is the Americans. I mean, these could definitely be first for many people. They have 4 really strong divisions. None of these are bad divisions. The 3rd Army used to be the absolute best division of the game, hands down, without a doubt. It was so obnoxious. They've nerfed it pretty hard since then, so it's not near. It's actually probably the second or the worst, or the second worst of the 4 now. 2nd Infantry, Task Force 45 are both excellent. Even with the recent nerf to Task Force 45, it's still a really solid division. And Task Force Butler, it's a little more niche, but it's still okay. After that, I would probably say the Commonwealth here. They have, obviously, the 6th Airborne is very, very strong. 8th Infantry, very solid. 15th, they got a little buff recently, so they're a little bit stronger. 3rd Canadian, also a little buff recently. 2nd New Zealand, very strong as well. South African's really not good. The Polish, really their only real contender here is the first, this one here, can't say it, their first Polish division, basically. This one's the only real contention one in terms of really strong divisions, but this one is very strong. Okay, it is very strong. The Italians are not great. Their 2 divisions are not very strong. The corporal, the infantry are just overcosted. They're unique and interesting, but they're not very good. And you hop down here. The Alpina is probably a little bit better in terms of the 2 Italian divisions. Then you get the Finnish. the Finnish are two solid divisions. I mean, Rhino Rapana is very niche. It's on the maps it's really strong on. It's just stupid strong. Like, it's almost impossible to beat it on something like Cell, because all their units have Molotov cocktails, so it's really annoying. The Panzerdivision Ona, it used to be a stronger division, but it's still solid. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's not a great, it's not overwhelming. So the Finnish is definitely towards the bottom these days. And the Hungarians are two solid division. I personally really like Lovas. A lot of people really like Tartalek. They have some really great infantry options, really large squads of infantry, so you can definitely, really beef your troops up. The Lovas have the wonderful little, totally blanking on the name. I'm just going to look really quick. They're the only units in there, Terrans. The only division in the game with these little light tanks that are really fast firing and super obnoxious. So just two really strong divisions as well. I would definitely put the Hungarians up there as well. So that is my personal rating of the minor factions in Steel Division 2. I often find them more fun to play than either of the two main factions, Soviets or Germans. If I was going to say objectively at this moment in the meta, Germans are probably the strongest division in the game. Sub-faction in the game. They have the most really powerful divisions. The Soviets really don't got it right now. They have some really standout divisions, but overall, if you group them all together, the Soviets are actually one of the weaker factions in the game right now, despite having, obviously some of the most number of divisions itself. But in terms of allies, I mean, the Americans probably take the cake. And then, Germans are definitely the strongest division for the Axis, but I think the Romanians are just such an excellent faction overall, and you can't go wrong with any of their divisions. So that is what I think is the best minor faction in Steel Division 2. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that subscribe button and the like button and drop a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite faction is. Have a fantastic day.